In this video, let's dive into 庆余年, Joy of Life again, and let's discover together what are the funny things that may have escaped your attention. Hi, you're watching Avenue X, where a junkie on good storytelling shares their thoughts, knowledge, and occasional weird ideas on stories and how they're told. So this video will definitely be categorized as a knowledge video. The other day, I was going through Joy of Life, the episodes, and I realized there are a lot of funny things about this drama that may not fully translate with the subtitles provided, say, by Vicky, because certain jokes are based on linguistic punchlines, similar pronunciations, reference to current culture and ancient culture. A lot of those things cannot be fully appreciated if you don't actually speak the language. So today I'm going to attempt explaining all the little funny things that I've noticed watching this drama that may have escaped your attention if you are not a Chinese language speaker. Before we get into the actual business, the ExpressVPN deal is still running on my channel. If you're interested in purchasing a 12-month plan from them, you can get 3 months extra for free by clicking through this link, expressvpn.com/avenuex. I highly recommend you using VPNs if you need to access your personal accounts and stuff over public Wi-Fi network, and it's also very useful for drama lovers to unlock regional restricted content on their subscriptions. A big thank you to ExpressVPN and everyone who has purchased their service through my exclusive link. So the first funny thing about this drama is this is actually the original author's doing. People are named very weirdly in this drama, starting from our lead character Fan Xian's official family, the Fan family. His official dad is Fan Jian. This name is just funny because they use the character Jian as the given name, means built. So it sounds like a very proper name for a guy, but the thing is, Fan Jian together as a word sound exactly like the word Fan Jian, which means being bitchy. So the dad has a name that sounds like being bitchy. I wonder how people can pronounce his name and keep a straight face. Fan Xian's name is not that rhymed or sounding exactly like something that's ridiculous and funny, but his brother certainly is, and it's definitely an intentionally created name to make people laugh. Fan Sizhe, played by Guo Qilin. In itself, Sizhe is nothing wrong to be a boy's name, but the thing is, Fan Sizhe together is Chinese official translation of the luxury brand Versace. So that's where the joke lies. If you do not know how that brand is actually pronounced in Chinese, then it will escape you. His sister is called Fan Ruoruo. Ruoruo is okay for a girl's name. When your parents, friends double your given name, it usually is an endearing way of calling you, but that would normally not be as your official name. But in this drama, I think the writer intentionally gave so many people double names, such as Fan Ruoruo, Haitang Duoduo, Chen Pingping, Chan Doudou. Not to mention Chen Pingping is so ridiculous. I think I've mentioned in my previous video that it totally sounds like a girl's name because Ping is very female, although Ping can be a guy's name. When you double it, it's just so girly. It's a very funny contrast to the actual character, the master of spy networks in the country. But that's just the start of this video. Let's go through the episodes and picking out the stuff that I think are funny, and you may not have completely caught why it's that funny. First, in episode 4, when Fan Xian first traveled to the capital and had this long conversation with his official dad. He was trying to impress him with all his 21st century knowledge and inventions, yet the dad is saying, no, your mom has done it all. Fan Xian looked up and was like signing 继生儿和生娘. Since the son is born, why was the mother born too? 继生儿和生娘 is based on a very famous line that every Chinese person knows called 继生瑜和生亮, which comes from the Three Kingdoms period when Zhou Yu, as a very famous strategist, exclaimed and said, since I was born 继生瑜, then why was Liang also born? So it is his way of saying, I'm already a super intelligent, clever person, but how unfortunately that I was born in the same period where an even more clever person was born. So that's bringing that reference from real history to Fan Xian's role. It's not a funny thing, but it's a very interesting cultural, linguistic, literature thing. Right after that, the dad introduced to him that there's this inner a court treasury called 内裤. So that's playing a punchline. And in the subtitle, it does explain that, but it's not 100%. It says underwear, which is not exactly accurate. 内裤in the drama's treasury setting is inner storage. That's the literal meaning. So a treasury with the imperial control. But this word sounds exactly like 内裤, a different 裤, which means inner pants. That's why the character looked down and kind of, pulled his invisible pants up. In episode 5, when Fan Xian went to have this meal with his brother, he was stopped midway by a lady secretly trying to sell him the forbidden book that's actually written by himself. And he said, "Oh, that sounds familiar. Do you sell DVDs?" That's the translation, which is correct, but it doesn't fully explain why it sounds funny, because the specific character he used is 你还卖盘吗? Do you still sell discs? 盘 in Chinese can be translated in both disc and dish. And in contemporary Chinese, 盘 can mean the dish that you eat food with. It could also mean DVD disc. So instead of saying DVD, often people would say 盘, which represents DVD, or CD, that is a disc. And the lady is confused because she's like, why would I be selling dish? So that very short communication and the funny thing that happens with the linguistic thing is not fully translated in subtitles. But now you know where the funny thing lies in that line. In episode 11, when Fan Xian is trying to make Ling Gong take the medicine, he said, 如果你不吃这个药丸，你就要完啊. So that's another joke, completely based on pronunciation. 药丸, literal translation, medicine, beads. Small things that is a ball is called 丸. If you don't take this medicine, you, 药丸, again sounding exactly the same, but it's not a word, it's will, end. So basically, if you don't take this medicine, you're gonna die. The line itself is not funny, but it's only funny in Chinese because of the pronunciation pun. In episode 18, when the second prince introduced the very famous swordsman Xie Bian, he's introduced as 快剑, fast sword. But Fan Xian took it as 快件, which means courier delivered packages. 快 means fast. 剑, the same pronunciation applies to sword and packages. So he says, 快件,我只知道顺丰, which means courier packages. I only know the company 顺丰. 顺丰 Express delivery service is one of the most well-known delivery service right now in China. It usually charges the highest amount of money among all the others, but at the same time, it's the most reliable one. If you do Taobao, you do e-commerce, which is a huge pain of me. In Canada, everything is so expensive. Delivering stuff in China, 顺丰 is the best one. So that's where the joke lies. And then Xie Bian answers, you said correctly, because he heard 顺丰and he thought it's this word, 顺丰. 顺丰as the brand of the courier service sounds exactly like following wind, which means you don't go against the wind. You're in the same direction as the wind blows. And the swordsman was like, yes, sure. If you, poke at other people when the wind is blowing in their direction, obviously it'll make it faster. I know subtitles kind of try to explain it, but it's a little bit too complicated and too much for you to read through all that subtitles within 1 second. In episode 19, there's a joke that's not explained, but it's quite funny, that happens in a conversation between Fan Xian and Wang Qinian. Fan Xian said, I am a 大尾巴狼, big-tailed wolf. Wang Qinian got super confused with. He said, what is that animal? And then Fan Xian said, 上古神兽, ancient, magical, godly beast. This is again playing at a contemporary term in Chinese that is not applicable to the particular era that Fan Xian travels to. 大尾巴狼, big-tailed wolf, in colloquial terms, means a person who doesn't have conscience, who is a really bad partner. So this is usually used in romantic relationships and usually applicable to guys. For example, in a relationship, the guy just lacks commitment, lacks responsible actions, lacks a kind heart and conscience, and definitely not a desirable partner. So that word is used to describe this kind of man. Then in episode 20, in a conversation, Fan Xian was told the prince has left the palace. And he said, why should I care about whether he has pooped or not? That translation will be very confusing to people who don't speak Chinese. So what is happening here? When the other person said the prince has left the palace, he used the word 出宫, leave, palace, which sounds exactly like another word 出宫 with a different 宫. When you are using that character, it is a very elegant euphemism kind of term, usually happening in period dramas in ancient times, meaning going to the bathroom. So Fan Xian probably intentionally took it. He knew what it actually means, but he just wanted to play a joke at it. And he was like, why should I care about if the prince has pooped? When actually it means the prince has left the palace. So this is the particular thing with Chinese, is a lot of characters sound exactly the same, but you have to look at first which character is used, then what is the contextual thing with what they're talking about to get the right idea. Then in episode 33, there's a reference that's very funny. Again, comes with the names, with Gaoda and Jagu, which is the Japanese animation Mobile Suit Gundam and Zaku in that. The subtitle has explained it perfectly. Here, I will just quickly mention that. It's the writer of the original novel who is just having a lot of fun with the references of contemporary culture. Last, in one of the later episodes, when Yan Bingyun was first rescued, he just said, 一切为了大庆. Everything is for 大庆. 大 something. The country is named 庆国. So 大庆 is a very common way in Chinese to call your own country in a very proud way. For example, the Ming Dynasty people will say 大明,我大明, our big Ming. Qing Dynasty people will probably say 我大清. So in that context, 一切为了大庆 is definitely fine. It's just that it's very funny to everybody who has loved Guardian because 大庆 also is the name of the cat. So immediately when I heard that, my brain just gave me a picture of the black cat being very confused. Who is like, what is going on? Who is cueing me? Why would a guy say everything is for me? I already have my perfect dad and my perfect dad. I have 2 dads. It's already enough. That's just an exclusive joke to people who are a fan of Guardian or who have watched Guardian. So that's the end of this video. I've gone through the episodes and picked out the stuff that I find might be interesting for lovers of Joy of Life to know. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.